And that was part 7, 5 minutes at the piano. Cycle of fourths and fifths, but the emphasis is on the fourths because chord progressions are based more on the fourths than the fifths. What does all this mean? It's not something that you apply, it's something that you just know. And it's the theory about why each key has so many sharps or flats in it, basically. So the logic is that you start on the key of C, which has got, in its major scale, nothing. There's no sharps or flats required. The template of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half doesn't produce any black notes. So, when we go up to the fourth, it means that you play the fourth of the key that you're in, you then ignore the key that you were in, and this becomes the new key. So now the whole piano is just the key of F. If you apply that template, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, every time you say half in the beginning, you'll start on the note F. You don't say whole, whole, half. You don't do it like that. You start on the note first, and then you go whole, whole, half. Every time you say half, you're going to get the new flat, or black note normally, of the key, which is going to add another flat each time. So the key of F gives you the B flat note. Why is it a B flat and not an A sharp? Because the A is already being played. It already exists. It's already labelled as a third. It can't be in two places at the same time. When you went whole, whole, half, whole, there's like a vacuum created here. So it's kind of being pulled down. The B is being pulled down to be a flat. It's not being pulled up to be a sharp. Now we're in the key of B flat. We're going to go up a fourth, we're in the key of B flat. So ignore F. Now we're in the key of B flat. So it's going to, each new key in the circle carries all the flats that you've acquired so far and adds a new one every time you say half. So in the key of B flat. So even if you know the shape of B flat already, this is the why behind it all. So you've got whole, whole, half. This E flat is going to be the second flat in B flat because it has two flats. The rest of the pattern just gives you white notes. So B flat has two flats. You need to memorize, because it's very important when you're reading sheet music, to know how many sharps or flats, to know what key you're in, and the same in jazz with jazz chord, just to orientate yourself in a key. So F has one flat, B flat has two flats. And when you go up a fourth, that will be the key, the new key, the fourth, but it's also the extra flat that you added. It's the new flat. So in the key of E flat, we're going to carry up the B flat from previously. We're in the E flat of its own key itself. And we go again, whole, whole, half. Now we get an A flat. We also have a B flat and all the rest are white notes. So E flat has three flats. The B flat from F, it's just given an A flat and the E flat because we're on the key of E flat. So now we're going to go up a fourth to A flat, and we're going to do the same thing. The whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half is going to include, this is why it's such a clever system, all the previous flats, but the half is going to give us the new flat to make it four flats. So A flat has four flats, E flat has three flats, B flat has two, F has one. So start on A flat, whole, whole, half, that gives us the D flat, and then we carry the E flat from earlier. So this is the logic behind it all. Now when you go around the cycle of fourths, at the moment, so we've started on C, onto F, to B flat, gone up to E flat, I'll stay on E flat. Now we've gone up to A flat, the whole piano becomes the key. We're on A flat, and that's going to go up to D flat, and then D flat will go up to G flat. That's where it ends, because if you continue, we go on what's called a theoretical key, which is when you have double flats and double sharps. They don't exist. Feel free to read about theoretical keys. You'd never call that C flat, you just call it B. So the flats stop on G flat. The circle of fifths is nice to know, but it's just less common to use. Chords are not really based on fifths, they're based more on fourths. So C has got 0, go up a fifth. Every major 7 is going to be the new added sharp. That final whole at the end of the whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. That whole at the end is going to be the new note of the extra sharp that you're going to get. So G has got 1. Now we'll go up a fifth again. That takes us to D. So D is going to have as its third the previous major 7, and its own major 7 is the next sharp in that key. So we get 2 in the key of D. Let's go up to the key of A because it's fifth up. A, is going to have the C sharp from the previous major 7. The F sharp also carried over from the previous key, and its own major 7, which is G sharp. So you go around like that. E goes to A. Sorry, what was I saying? A goes to E. E will go up to B. B will go up to F sharp. And F sharp goes to C sharp. That's where that ends, because otherwise you'd go up to G sharp, and that's a theoretical key again. So the cycle of sharps, the fifths, and the cycle of flats or fourths, they end on different notes. Practice more on the fourths, because chord progressions are more built on fourths, like the 2-5-1 is a cycle of 4. D to G to C is a fourth. And it's more applicable to learn the fourths than the fifths, but know them both. That's the logic about why you have sharps and flats in different keys. There you go. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. All the best. Bye for now.